right, we're live on Intex News Radio, reality radio. Everybody can be a star. Good morning. My name's Clinton Paris. And look, let's just get right into it and try to get back to some regular order after last week's, I won't say, let's just call it last week's unfortunate incidents that your ears had to suffer through. We're back to regular order, and that means that we are straight up the middle, and you're in good hands. As I always talk about, this show is very therapeutic to me, and I am going through a very difficult time right now with some issues that affect how I look at the world and what's happening. We talk on this show about politics, and politics is an overlay for public governance, and really the economics of our survival in the various, iterations of world dynamics. And so we work on democracy. And unfortunately, democracy is really popularity driven. Everybody remembers the horrors of high school, which depended upon popularity. Sometimes, the coach had a favorite or popular football player or quarterback on the team, and instead of putting in the best player, he put in the popular player. And there's always that cheerleader that was popular that was on the cheerleading squad, but that wasn't the best cheerleader. And democracy is no different. We don't work on what's best, what's right, what's correct, what's proper. It's popularity, and right now we're feeling the full impact of that with the current situation. You have a traditional type of governing president in Joe Biden who has some forethought about what to do in the country's interest. And then you've got this guy, Donald Trump, who's strictly about being popular, having power, and within that, his effort to try and make, money. And historically, that would not go very far unless you had some allies. And so for Donald Trump, he's our first politician that emerged during the full maturity of the social media age. And so there are so many avenues in which he can grift society and push that popularity. And all he needs to do is attach it just tangentially to our political system. And that's what he's done. So that's the unfortunate dynamic. So that's got me a little dismayed, because I've always believed America could be better. That America was not at its best. America was always getting better. There's no moment in American history that you can say, let's all bounce back to this space and time, and that will be best for America in totality. There are moments you may find for individuals or certain groups of people when things were better, but from a total perspective, it is not. And that's what's got me dismayed, because there are so many people right now that have embraced a concept that if we could just go back to some other time period, many things would go. Well, if you go back to those time periods, they had a lot of problems. And thankfully, I didn't live through a lot of it. I can only talk about the period I'm in, really, and living it and understanding the balance between those things that are good and those things that are bad. But the way that we're hearing a lot of our Republican counterparts approach politics, it's one with this idea that we need to go back to something. And the only things I could say go back to is things that deal with character and integrity and honesty, things of that nature, which have fallen apart in so many areas of our politics. So I just wanted to point that out and just say I am struggling right now trying to understand what's happening with those folks who call themselves Republicans. I get someone has co-opted the party. I get that leadership may not be the leadership of the past, but I don't know if you might want to co-sign that. I've never really thought there was a time when we needed a third party more than we need it now. And we need that party really for well-meaning Republicans whose stomachs are turned by what they're experiencing from the leadership of the Republican Party to find a place to go. You can't tell me that Republicans are happy that Donald Trump put his daughter-in-law in charge of the Republican National Committee and is using the money to pay his legal fees. You can't tell me people are happy about that. You can't tell me that the people in the Republican Party who are of the religious right are not just dismayed that Donald Trump is outselling Bibles. Donald Trump is outselling Bibles. You just can't tell me that they are happy with that. That next week Donald Trump goes on trial, April 15th. He's going to be involved in a trial regarding a payment to a porn star. A payment. Think about this. Republicans got in a tiff because Joe Biden allegedly smelled some woman's hair. But we've got Donald Trump, who has admitted he paid the porn star. Pretty much it's accepted that he had an affair with the porn star while he was married. And now he's going on trial for using the political process to make a illegal payment to her. And you can say, well, Democrats shouldn't be going. You can say all that. But when you finish with all that harumphing about going after Donald Trump, what about what he did? I mean, what about what he did? He paid a porn star money that was designated for his political campaign. Not the technicality, the idea that you're defending someone who paid a porn star. It's just amazing to me. So so that's really what I'm kind of grappling with, because I spend my week really working to understand what's happening with Republicans. And I don't know if it's just so angry. And in particular, for a lot of folks, it's an economic issue. It's economics. And I've said before, politics dwells down into all things, including most economic things. It's just an overlay for how we run our economics. But if you think about it, Donald Trump has single-handedly co-opted so many people. It's almost like if you follow Donald Trump, go ahead and pick out your jumpsuit to wear when you go to jail, because that's kind of what's going to happen. I don't know of anyone who's gone to jail because they've worked for, helped, been a part of Joe Biden's campaign or cabinet, things of that nature. And these are honest issues to talk about. You can say, I don't like Biden's policy. Okay, great. But are you willing to go to jail? You can say, I don't like the way Joe Biden does a lot of things. Yeah, right. But are you willing to co-opt your religion? Are you willing to go and buy a $60 Bible from Donald Trump? And think how chintzy that is. Think how that Bible. I've bought Bibles recently. That's a really cheap Bible. That's a cheap Bible. You go get yourself a good NIV, a good Bible these days. It costs a lot more than $60. Okay, Lord forbid you want to put a case, put it inside some kind of cover or things of that nature. So who is he targeting with that Bible? Who is he targeting when he asks for $5 contributions? I want to ask all my Republican count: how many of you have ever donated $5 to a campaign? Because if you say you did, I'm going to tell you probably should have kept it. Because it sounds like to me you probably need that $5 a lot more than that candidate does. People don't donate $5 and $10 to campaigns. They really do not. And so I'm just disappointed watching him fleece his followers, people who are acting in good faith, buying his sneakers, steaks, who got a Donald Trump degree. And Lord forbid if you lost your bar license or went to jail. It's just really unfortunate watching what he's done to the Republican Party. But he has. But see, you all are staying there because you really don't have nowhere to go. That's what you think anyway. But let me tell you something. You do. You can. You can step away from that. You can leave and move somewhere else. So anyway, that's what's kind of weighing down on my heart this morning. I just want to get just kind of get that off my chest before I go into some of the other things that are really hitting hard, and which is how well Joe Biden is really doing. You know, if you listen to Fox, and I do every day, pretty much, hours a day, I listen to Fox or Newsmax or some other conservative information outlet, just so that I get a feel for what you guys are talking about over there. What you're not talking about is Joe Biden's approval number, according to Reuters, has ticked up. That he has improved since the State of the Union address, that his approval numbers have gone up. The jobs number yesterday, you couldn't miss it. And every month there's a prediction as to what the economy will do as to creating jobs, and so that's like taking the economy's temperature. It's like the economy's blood pressure. So the economy made 303,000 jobs. The prediction was only about 218 or so. So what that says is economy's doing well. More people working, making money. Unemployment ticked down 3.8%. Yeah, that's right, 3.8%. Dow Jones hit 38,679. Now I'm throwing those numbers out to say you don't feel that when you go to the grocery store. What you see are prices are higher than they used to be, right? And I get that. The cost of things, it's more than it used to be. But I ask everybody, take a minute, go look at your 401k. Go look at your retirement plan. Go look at your investment portfolio. And tell me Joe Biden has not done well for most Americans who are tied into that system. All I'm saying is Joe Biden's numbers on what has actually happened is a lot stronger and better than it used to be. And I don't know about you all, watching him about a week or so back with Joe Biden and Bill Clinton and Barack Obama getting together on stage. And I thought, well, who in the traditional leadership of the Republican Party would dare appear anywhere with Donald Trump? Now, there is nothing to gain for Bill Clinton being on that stage. There's nothing to gain for Barack Obama. But there are no people who are not vested and have something to gain willing to get anywhere near Donald Trump. Everybody you see anywhere near Donald Trump is a grifter. They're grifting off the greatest grifter we have ever seen in America. Another thing that came up this week got me, that was the issue of, well, what's the most pressing issue on most Americans' mind? What is that issue? And so oftentimes we are trying to demonstrate something that's not based in reality and or facts. I want to share some with everybody this morning about some of the issues that you all say are most important to you. Not me, but what are the issues that are most important to you? The top issue, according to Reuters, the top issue is extremism. Now, in the Republican Party, let me talk about Democrats first. You may remember it about 4 to 6 years ago, there was a group of people coming into the Republican leadership, or actually, let me say, vocal aspects that were very, very far left. And in response to that, the Democratic Party put forward a very moderate and centrist candidate, that being Joe Biden. Joe Biden's not far leftist. Every now and again, he may do something to make sure he appeases that wing of the party, but no one would ever say Joe Biden is some far extreme leftist. And they threw out words like socialist and communist. Donald Trump does that, communist, but you wouldn't say that. In contrast, we have Donald Trump, who opposes almost every institution that America is built on. He's not in favor of paying taxes, which supports our government. Why do we know that? Well, he's come out and said it himself, and by the things he's done. He's not for law and order, except when it means locking you up for what you may have done. But as far as he's concerned and his friends and cronies, anybody that goes after him is fair game. So much so that he attacks the family of judges in cases he's involved in. If you and I did that, we'd be in jail tomorrow. You can't do that. It's not fair to those people. But he's not for law and order. Democracy itself, the actual idea that there's an election held, we go out and we vote, and at the end of the election, we accept the results, right? That's democracy. We accept the results. And then we work on our system to make the system the best we can be. It will never be perfect. There are always going to be nefarious wrongdoers who are going to try and undermine systems, and they're not bound to a party. They're just people who are of low character and flawed. But that does not invalidate an election. He's not for democratic process and the peaceful transition of power. Donald Trump doesn't represent any of the concepts of traditional Republican mainstream values, and he represents the extreme wing of the party that moves it out of step with American society. The majority of Americans are in the middle between where Donald Trump is and where Joe Biden. They're not Donald Trump. They're in the middle of the party. And he's taking it far outside of that. Well, we got a caller calling in. Good morning, caller. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Good morning. This call is Trucker. I got to chime in, man. You just showed this right on point with this Trump thing, man. It's right on point.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you for listening in, Carl, as always. We've had a few technical difficulties today, but I'm glad that you're now. Now I know you're still with Biden. I know Biden's your guy, but what were your thoughts? I mean, I assume that you heard about the strong economic numbers that came out for Joe Biden. How does he get that message out to more people about what's going on? Because every day, Carl, the average person goes to the grocery store, stops and gets gas, and they feel the economy. How does he get the message out, though, about the strength of the economy and what's positive with his administration?
Well, he's done a good job with he's really. You look at some of his campaigning and advertising messages. He's done a really good job of that. But the people that with the intellect to really understand what he's really saying and his points, those are the ones that he's going. That he's going to get to. Now, the ones that just don't like him because he's in his 80s, those are the ones that they're looking at him personally than his job performance. That's what is going on with that. And you said something that really hit on point. During his speech, he had some really powerful guys around him, like the ex-president and Clinton. You can get nobody of substance or importance to be on that stage with Trump unless they wanted something from him.
Yeah. You're right about that.
Yeah, Joe Biden, he's really empathy. If you really see him and listen to him sometime during his speeches, not on television, he's a really empathetic person. He really cares.
Yes. No, there's no doubt about that.
Somebody like that really cares. Right. When you get somebody that really cares, they're gonna do what they can for the people that he can do something for. He's an empathetic person. He can relate to the loss his wife and his daughter in a car accident. His son died of brain cancer, and he's really sticking by his son through his challenges.
Carl,
whatever somebody says.
You should be on his campaign team. You'd make a great campaign commercial. They need to bring you on the team, Carl. If you're gonna, the way that you just explained that, in contrast to what we hear from the other side, I am just trying to figure out how does he get the message out. I just think he's got to be seen more frequently in more different environments. I know he went up to Baltimore, promised to help with the bridge and all that, which was, a good, very good. But I just think he's not flooding the zone, right? He needs to flood the zone. He needs to be
Right.
He needs to be everywhere. And I think and that to me is an undercurrent, I think, of one of the dynamics. Carl, we're at the 15-minute mark. We need to take a break real quick here. Can you hang on, Carl, to the other side of this break? I got a couple more things I want to throw at you real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Carl, hang on. Listen, you're listening to In-Text News Radio, reality radio. Everybody can be a star. We're gonna take a quick break. Come back on the other side. I got a couple things. I gotta poke my man Carl a couple times. We'll be right back.
We're playing your favorite old school. Today's R&B. With a smooth touch of jazz. You're listening to In Touch Radio.
By now, we're all aware of the dangers of COVID-19. Like others with existing health issues, cancer patients are at a high risk due to their compromised condition. If you are newly diagnosed with cancer, your care likely can't wait. Moffitt Cancer Center is the best place for your cancer concerns and to provide guidance to help you plan your next steps. We're here for you. Call 1-888-456-2839 or go to moffitt.org/here for you.
Who doesn't love being number one? When your team's dominating the standings or your favorite band rocks the charts at number one, it feels good, right? Kind of like how it feels when you have auto insurance with State Farm. Because making you feel like number one is an honor your local State Farm agent takes seriously. Through the good times and not so good, your State Farm agent's proud to be here to help life go right.
Call Herman White at 961-6661. That's 961-6661.
All right, we're back live on In-Text News Radio, reality radio. Everybody can be a star. I got my man Carl the truck on the phone. I'm gonna box you in, Carl. I feel bad for this setup, but I have no choice because you're a biting guy. You're gonna have to answer for this one, and this won't be the last time. I assume you're called to answer for this situation. Last weekend on Easter Sunday, the day that most Americans of Christian faith and heritage are celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ, the Biden administration put out an announcement announcing Transgender Visibility Day on a Sunday. Now, I was just floored by that. I was floored by it for a number of reasons. Let me go on the record a couple things here. First, I've never attended a P. Diddy party. Second, I don't personally know a transgender person. I don't know one. I do not know one. I'm well into my 50s, and I personally do not know. I know more Eskimos than transgender people. I know more 100% authentic Eskimos than transgender people. I know some gay people. I know some homosexual people, but I don't personally know. And let me say this, maybe they're just not disclosing it to me. I don't know, whatever it may be. So I felt like, what was the urgency of elevating Transgender Visibility Day? So you know what I did, Carl? Ask me what I did. What did you do last Sunday? Ask me. I went looking for transgender visibility people. And you guess how many I found? Guess how many I saw? Bezel. Any idea, Carl, how many I saw on Transgender Visibility Day? I saw none. I went looking. I just, because you know why, Carl? I'm a thoughtful, attentive person. I figure, you know what? That is not right of you, Clint. It is not right for you not to be acknowledging the visibility of transgender people as they go about their regular lives. We've got a day here. Hey, I went looking, and Carl, I could not find one. And I looked in 2 different cities. I looked in Tallahassee, and I looked in Tampa. Didn't find one. So, Carl, listen, I'm trying to find out, why did you think your president felt the need, right, to declare Transgender Visibility Day on Easter, of all the days?
I don't know. He really lost me on that. I can't really speak to what he was really thinking on that. I mean, you can't. I mean, transgender or not, like, you know, you can't identify them without some kind of personal contact with them. I mean, you can't just.
You're onto something. Wait, hold on. What do you mean? You can't tell who's transgender, who's not. You can't look at it. Wait, hey, I'm gonna give you some things to look for. I'm a guy, you know. See, I'm a thoughtful guy. So you look for things like disproportionate feet, hand, and face features. There's, you know, if you see some 13 sticking out, you know, and there's some lipstick involved, well, you know, there may be some stuff. They could be, you know, a WNBA player, but then again, you know, feet, hand size. But anyway, I'm making a little bit of jest about it. But here's what it concerned me is this, and that's a real issue. At his age, are there other people really driving the boat? Are there other people? Because he can't give all the details. Did somebody run in front of him and say, did somebody say, hey, we need you to sign this transgender day, you know, keep it moving? And he just signed it.
It probably was a transgender who did
it. I'm being careful. Bezel is throwing shade. You follow me, Carl?
No shade, I'm just saying.
But see me, Carl, so this is what goes into some people thinking, can we put him in office for 4 more years if things like this are going to get by him? Joe Biden is a devout Catholic. Been a Catholic his whole life.
Yes, right.
So in my mind is some, you know, between naps, they went in there and got him to sign this, and he wasn't really aware of the full dynamics of it. So you see, I thought that was unnecessary and an unforced error. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I hold him responsible for this war with Israel, with dealing with
Hamas.
Right. Yeah.
You know, whoa, let's clean that up. You hold him responsible for the war, or you don't like the way he's dealing with it?
I don't like the way he's dealing with it with Netanyahu.
What are you gonna do? But they're their own. You know, we have this inflated belief, Carl, in America that we really can tell other country leaders what they got to do. Now, I'm going to say this.
We support their economy.
You're right. Yeah, that's economy. That's money, though. But we don't get to tell them what they have to do. And we have this false impression that we can.
Humanity, yeah. I mean, yes, for humanity, yeah. What this guy's doing is really inhumane.
Yeah, but Carl, okay, stop it, Carl. Stop it. Listen, there's nothing humane about the existence of America. If you go through the history of America, its functionality is not based on what's humane and what's not. From the Indians to the Pilgrims to slavery to World War I to how we responded to the situation with the Jews, over the history of America in Southeast Asia, there is no moment you can say what America was really most concerned about was humanity. If it was, you wouldn't have. If it was, you would not have the issues you have in South America, in Central America, in Haiti. You wouldn't have that. That to me is, you know, the most humane thing we ever did was leave Vietnam and let those people resolve their own issues, and they've done a great job at it. But while we were involved, it was so I just wanted to say I don't think the humane piece, and I don't want to get too far off on the Jewish thing at all, though. But what would you like to see Joe Biden do different?
Well, like you said, I think he should be more out in public, and he should, and stick with his message or whatever, and hit Trump not too hard, just every once in a while, just let it just point out some of the issues that Trump are doing to hurt, or not doing to benefit the country. Wow.
All right, well, Carl, thank you very much for listening in this morning. We appreciate you, my brother, as always. It's always a better show when we hear from you. And, of course, America's always better off that you're out there on that road. Hit your horn for us. You got your horn going? Hit your horn there one time for us.
No, this is my hometown. I'm in Atlanta doing some house maintenance. So,
okay, all right.
Mode.
Okay, all right, man. Well, enjoy your time at home, and thank you very much for calling in.
Great show.
That's my man Carl's calling in. Carl the trucker. Not trucking today, though. So he's tending to some household duties. All right, good. It's good for a man to be in his house doing, manly household-related issues. Let me say this about the Israel thing. Go ahead and flag the tape. Get your emails ready. I don't think America really cares about what's happening in Israel. I think we don't really care what's happening in Ukraine. We really don't. We want to seem like we do. It's kind of like the little chit-chat you have with your neighbor at the fence. You don't really care what's going on over there, as long as it doesn't come over into your yard, your neighbor, your household. And I think, this thing with Israel is just, it's shameful to the world. But, we all will account for this, not collectively, but individually, in our own individual day of reckoning that you have to deal with. So, listen, I want to thank everybody for listening in. I appreciate you all very much. You're wonderful people for taking your time on a Saturday morning, spending it a little bit with us. Hopefully we brought something to you to lighten your day, to give you something to think about. We're deep in the spring, y'all. We're almost about to turn the corner, get into summer. So what does that mean? Get up, get out, go do something. Be a part of what's happening in your community. I'm telling you, you will be better for it as I am better for you all spending some time with me. So I want to thank you all for listening. And as always, I want to thank the Johnsons for making this platform available. In Touch News is so much more than just some guy coming on Saturday and talking. It is a full information vehicle that makes our community better. So I want to thank the Johnsons for that. I want to thank Belzer for getting up, fighting with traffic, getting in here, making this thing roll, man. Hey, listen, I'd rather be over here where all I got to do is talk than over there where you got to push all those buttons. So have a great day. Be safe, and I'll see you all back here again next week.
Are you missing church? Yes! Well, you don't have to. Listen in every Sunday to Reverend Dr. Maurice Johnson. Voice your victory from the Memphis Christian Center at 11 a.m. Central Time and 12 noon Eastern Time on In Touch Radio.
In Touch Radio, the most loved station across the nation. In Touch Radio. Tell a friend. In Touch Radio.
Call Ricky. Ask Ricky. Or a lawyer, I got the man to do the legwork for ya. We tried the other ones before, so believe we hunted down 813-248-6300. Everything gon' be okay, call Ricky, he coming. He taking care of state of Florida, grab a pen of sundown, 184-361-RICK. That's 184-361-425. Never word from the point forward, just recline. Just ask Ricky, plus your boy stay fine. Just in case you missed it, I'ma tell you one more time. 184-361-RICK. Call Ricky, ask Ricky. It's a legal medical referral service. The doctors and lawyers in our network are trained in handling auto injury claims and getting you the best medical treatment and recovery. Dial 1-844-361-RICK. That's 1-844-361-7425. Ricky. Ask Ricky.
Hey, this is Agent Wright, better known as Mr. Clean. You looking for some great barbecue? Come see them two brothers on the grill, located at 423 Virginia Street, Charleston, West Virginia. We got ribs, chicken, pulled pork, brisket, collard greens, mac and cheese, baby.